Because again, it's always like trying to chase that paper, right?
Because it was
And
about
that,
money.
right,
It was
that
money
pursuit
motivated.
of money got them into more hijinks over the course of that series. And I think that there's also a through line in the series, if I'm thinking about it, that like the pursuit of money and the ability to be connected in the natural world were always in opposition.
Welcome to the intersection of Black culture and horticulture with your girl Cola B talking. And guess what, y'all? We Black in the garden.
Today we're diving into the perils of farm life through the lens of a contemporary Black cultural character's farming experience. One of my favorite fictional characters, Paperboi, who is played by actor Brian Tyree Henry and was a staple in FX's Atlanta series long before we saw him go into the Spider-Verse. If you're not a fan of Atlanta on FX, you can still enjoy this conversation because largely we will be reflecting on farm life from an explicitly realistic perspective. And specifically, we're going to dive into season 4, episode 9, titled Andrew Wyeth, Alfred's World. In the episode, Paperboi purchases and moves to a farm alone out in the middle of nowhere, where he's cultivating cannabis plants and he's also trying to fix a broken tractor that he found on the property. Something begins to eat his plants, and it gets a little strange from there because when he fixes the tractor and goes for a ride, it falls off of a ledge and it lands on his foot. He did manage to get his foot free, but he has to drag himself back to the farm only to find that a pack of wild hogs is eating more of his cannabis plants. One of them attacks him and he beats it to death, literally fighting for his life with the skillet that he ordered off of Amazon. Joining us in conversation today is another fan of FX's Atlanta, journalist and playwright, Kelundra Smith. She is a multifaceted talented who is as comfortable in the world of arts and culture as she is in her own imagination. Kelundra is a Georgia native, and she got into theater because that's where the teachers put the kids who talk too much in class. Her play, The Wash, is having its world premiere this summer in Atlanta, co-produced by Synchronicity Theater and Impact Theater. In 2025, The Wash will have a production in Chicago, co-produced by Prop Theater and Perceptions Theater, as well as a production at the Black Rep in St. Louis. Kelundra is also a theater critic and arts journalist whose articles about artists from historically excluded groups have been published in the New York Times, Garden and Gun, American Theater, Bitter Southerner, and many more. So, all right, let's zoom out a little bit. As a fan of FX's Atlanta, I just described the episode to those of you who hadn't seen it or, maybe forgot the plot. Can you tell us how the episode resonated with you?
It resonated with me in a couple of ways. I think one is that we see this moment where Paperboi has wanted this thing his whole life, which was to be a rapper, to be a celebrity, to make money. Really,
Yes.
is to just have economic stability. That was
That's
really the
it.
dream. And like hip hop was the pathway to do that.
Yeah.
Especially growing up in the urban South, which is different than growing up in the rural South. And it's different growing up in Atlanta than it is growing up in other parts of Georgia, right?
Wow.
And so
Break it down.
there's this desire to make money, to not have to worry about finances, to not have to do something that's going to compromise your freedom for money. And hip hop is the pathway he sees in the environment he's in. And then he gets the dream
Right.
and he can't go to Target no more. So then going to the farm becomes the way of getting the actual piece. Like the money, he thought the money was the dream when the money was really a tool. And so when we're at the farm and he realizes that being able to grow the thing he consumes is actually the ticket to his freedom.
Freedom, yes. and it gives him that opportunity to engage with the cannabis, for the leisurely purposes and also self-care purposes is what I assume for him.
Right, exactly. And he's, trying to figure out now how to be in this environment that's not he knows there's an ancestral something that knows what to do, but there's an intellectual something that has to be overcome, right?
Absolutely. You were really paying attention. Yeah. Okay, see. Thank you all so much for joining me on Black in the Garden. You know, I always want to wish my soil cousins love, light, and soil. And as always, let's get ready to take a watering moment with Plant Zaddy.
So imagine the fictionary character Paperboi on his farm amidst all the chaos and unpredictability. Even when the tractor failed and wild boars attacked, he found the strength to keep going. Just like Paperboi, we all face unexpected challenges that test our resilience and spirit. But remember, it's these very moments of adversity that water our roots, making us stronger and more resilient. So do me a favor and take a deep breath and envision yourself as a plant in the garden. Feel the sunlight on your leaves, the richness of the soil supporting you, and the cool, refreshing water nurturing your growth. Now this symbolizes all the positive affirmations, the support from loved ones, and the inner strength that you possess. As we go through our own journeys, let's remember to water our minds with positivity, our bodies with care, and our souls with love. Whether you're tending to a literal garden or cultivating your personal growth, embrace every challenge as an opportunity to deepen your roots and bloom even brighter. Now keep growing, keep thriving, and remember, you have everything you need within you to overcome any obstacle. Love, light, and soil, and always remember, plant more and worry less. Plant Zaddy out.
Tune in to Black in the Garden, the intersection of Black culture and horticulture. Available on wabe.org/podcast and all your favorite streaming platforms.
WABE.